Welcome to this bite-sized video on the Scout Group Executive Committee in the UK. This is the first pilot video in a series on the structure of the Scout Association in the UK. I hope these videos will help members to understand the structure of Scouting, who may find this format a better way to learn than reading policy, organisation and rules. If you find this video useful, please let me know which video I should make next. This video will explain the purpose, responsibilities and the membership of a Scout Group Executive Committee according to the Scout Association's policy, organisation and rules as at November 2019. I will try to keep acronyms to a minimum, but here are the ones I will use in this video. AGM, Annual General Meeting. POR, Policy, Organisation and Rules. DBS, Disclosure and Barring Service. GDPR, General Data Protection Regulations. So let's start with the purpose of the Executive Committee. As simply stated, in POR, the Executive Committee exists to support the Group Scout leader in meeting the responsibilities of their appointment. On to the duties of the Executive Committee. Members of the Executive Committee must act collectively as charity trustees of the Scout Group and in the best interest of its members to comply with POR, protect and maintain any property and equipment owned by and/or used by the group, manage the group's finances, provide insurance for people, property and equipment, provide enough resource for Scouting to operate. This could include supporting recruitment, other adult support and fundraising activities, as well as many other activities. Promote and support the development of Scouting in the local area. Manage and implement the national safety policy in the group. Ensure that a positive image of Scouting exists in the local community. Appoint and manage the operation of any subcommittees, including appointing a chair to lead the subcommittees. Ensuring that young people are meaningfully involved in the decision making at all levels within the group, and the opening, closure and amalgamation of sections in the group. The Executive Committee must also, when required, appoint administrators, advisors and co-opted members to the Executive Committee, approve the annual report and annual accounts after their examination by an appropriate auditor, independent examiner or scrutineer, present the annual report and annual accounts to the Group Scout Council at its annual general meeting, file a copy with the District Executive Committee, and, if a registered charity and required to, with the appropriate charity regulator. Maintain confidentiality with regard to the Executive Committee business. Where staff are employed, act as a responsible employer in accordance with the Scouting's values and relevant legislation. Ensure line management responsibilities for employed staff are clearly established and communicated. So who are the members of the Executive Committee? First, all committee members are charity trustees. They must be associate members or full members of the Scout Association. They must be at least 18 years old to be a charity trustee. They must not be disqualified from being a charity trustee. They must complete a DBS and they must complete Module 1E and GDPR training within 5 months of their appointment, election or co-option. An ex officio member is a member of the committee by holding another position. The term ex officio is Latin, meaning literally from the office, and the sense intended is by right of office. The chair, secretary and treasurer, having been appointed or elected by the AGM, are the officers of the Executive Committee. The Group Scout leader and any assistant Group Scout leaders are members of the Executive Committee. If the group is sponsored, the sponsoring authority or an individual nominated by the authority is also a member. In the first case, the sponsoring authority is a corporate trustee and it may be represented by a different person at each meeting. In the second, the sponsoring authority nominates an individual to represent it at the executive meetings, and that individual is the charity trustee. This should be defined in the sponsorship agreement. Section leaders can choose to be members of the executive but are not compelled to be ex officio members. This may be because they do not qualify or do not want to be charity trustees. If you have multiple colonies, packs and troops in your group, then the leader in each section may choose to be a member. This does not apply to assistant section leaders, and they cannot represent the section leader at the executive meeting. If you have a partnership agreement with an Explorer Scout unit, the partnership agreement will define if the Explorer leader can also decide to be a member of the executive. Any member of the Scout Council who is eligible to be a charity trustee stands for election at the AGM. This includes all volunteers and parents. There are usually 4, 5 or 6 elected members depending on your group's constitution. The election process will be covered in more detail on the video on the Scout Group Constitution and AGM. After the election of members at the AGM, the Group Scout leader may nominate additional members to the executive. They do not have to be members of the Group Scout Council, but they must be eligible to be charity trustees. There cannot be more nominated members than elected, so if only 3 members were elected, even if your constitution defines 6 elected members, there can only be 3 nominated members. During the session, the executive may co-opt additional members. This is usually to bring someone to join the committee who has a specialist skill or knowledge. If during the year the chair, treasurer or secretary resign or they are unable to continue in the role and the acting officer is not appointed from within the existing executive, then the committee will need to co-opt the person who is taking the role. As with nominated members, there can be no more than the number of elected members, and once co-opted they remain a member until the next AGM. When you want to co-opt a member, it will need to be notified on the agenda for the meeting, formally voted on and clearly recorded in the minutes. Executive Committee Attendees. Meeting attendees are people who have the right to attend a meeting or are given the permission to attend a meeting. They do not have the right to vote and they are not charity trustees. POR gives the District Commissioner and the District Chair the right to attend Scout Group Executive Committee meetings. The District Commissioner and District Chair may delegate attendance to a Deputy District Commissioner or Deputy Chair, respectively, if those roles have been appointed. The group must send all agendas, minutes and other papers to the District Commissioner and Chair as they would any other member of the Executive Committee. The group may have given permission to attend meetings to youth representatives who are not able to be trustees. If the group has a partnered Explorer Scout unit, they could nominate youth members to attend. The group executive may also give permission to attend to the group administrator if they are not already a member of the executive. The executive may also invite guests to speak to the executive committee. In all these cases, though, you may prefer to hold a pre-meeting before the formal starting of the executive committee meeting. This might be the requirement if you have confidential business to discuss. With all those people, let's take the overview of an executive committee. If you have a large group with multiple sections and a full executive, you could have over 30 people at your meeting. Such a large group is often unable to make detailed decisions, and it is better for subcommittees to be formed to make recommendations to the full executive committee, a subject for another video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel to see more videos and visit www.scouter.uk for blog posts and more information to help with the administration of your Scout group.